Hi everyone, Emily here. I hope you're all doing well today. This episode is my introduction to my awakening. It's a story that shaped how I see the world and why I think I do about so many things in life, and I hope it helps you understand my journey a little bit better. It all started with a Snoopy boat. So I was 5 years old and we were visiting friends who lived on a houseboat. It was December and all of the boats in the harbor were lit up with Christmas lights, and it was absolutely magical. And after the boat parade, we were docked and all of the adults went inside to play cards and socialize. And I decided to stay up top so that I could keep watching the boats pass by. And one boat in particular caught my eye. It was decorated with Snoopy, and I loved Snoopy. And so I leaned on the railing and I was resting my chin in my hands and started sliding along the rail to follow the boat as it moved until I reached the spot where the railing ended, right at the boat's entrance, and I fell into the water. No one saw it happen, no one heard me go in, and no one knows how long I was underwater. What I do remember is waking up underwater surrounded by the most beautiful light. I could breathe. I felt completely calm and I was deeply happy. I remember noticing the barnacles on the boat. It was such a small detail, but the light was so bright all around me that I could see everything. I could see the particles in the water, even though it was nighttime. I was aware of everything. And more than anything, I felt this overwhelming, indescribable love. Not the way I love my husband or my kids, as deep as that is, but this was something beyond words. It was pure, unconditional, blissful love. When I think back on it, even now, it brings tears to my eyes because that feeling still lives in me. It was like knowing in every cell that I was part of the universe and it was part of me. Then I felt the light wrap around me, and it literally felt like a warm blanket that has just come out of the dryer. It was just warm and radiant and infused with this love. And the next thing I remember, I was lying halfway on the dock with my face against the concrete, and my lower body was still in the water, and there was no one around. Eventually, a teenage girl walked by on the sidewalk, and I managed to whisper, "Help!" And she started screaming. And within seconds, my dad leapt from the boat onto the dock, and he pulled me out. And I remember the sound of my soaking wet jacket slapping against the concrete as he stripped it off, and my mom wrapping me in towels and trying to warm me up. And that's all I remember. I don't remember anything after that. Recently, I received a channeled message that I was saved by an angelic collective after my energy levels dropped to critical. And to be perfectly honest, I am still wrapping my head around that. But that moment, that experience was the beginning of everything for me. It changed how I understand death and love and connection. It showed me that we are all part of something bigger. Some people call it source or the universe, others call it God. To me, it doesn't really matter what you name it. It is everything. It is us. Since then, I've had many interactions outside of our human reality, from interacting with spirits to out-of-body experiences, and regularly seeing beings who resemble skeleton dogs, which sounds really creepy, but they're actually pretty cool. Where this is all leading, I have no idea, but my guides have told me, walk the path and see where it leads. And so I am walking. If there's one thing that I hope you take away from this introduction, it's that we are all connected, whether we realize it or not. Sometimes the universe speaks to us in the quietest moments through experiences that we can barely put into words. For me, it's more of a feeling. I'm still learning, exploring, and still walking the path with an open heart and mind. And I invite you to do the same, to stay curious, to stay open, and trust that there's more to life than what we see on the surface. So much more. Thanks for being here with me, for listening, and for sharing in this journey. So until next time, motor gently and be kind to yourself.